Hello and welcome back to Fantasy Manager Weekly. My name is Rhys. I think we're on Fantasy Manager Weekly. I've got Euro 2020 coming out across my 3 channels at the moment, which I'll link below. But this one is planned for Fantasy Manager Weekly. So hopefully it's coming out on this channel and I'm not confusing you. Today, we're going to be looking at 5 essential players for Euro 2020 fantasy football. A couple of quick caveats before you start. Number 1, I am not an expert. Number 2, chip strategy and just general strategy can play a huge part in what players you want to go for. The players I've chosen today are just generally good for the group stages in general. I know people are going to be hitting their limitless chip at some point during the group stages, but the 5 players I got for you today are just good players for whatever reason, fixtures, stats. Your chip strategy will very much shape your transfer strategy, I think, in this tournament. So I picked every player for a reason, most of which I will try and quantify for you with some kind of stat or figure during the video. So I hope you like it. If you do, please hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new, and let me show you the players. Now I'll start off with the goalkeeper position, and I've gone for Yann Sommer. I apologise in advance for all my pronunciation being wrong. The reason I've gone for Sommer is because of his fixtures. He's in a group with Wales and Turkey, who aren't the best at scoring goals. During qualifying, they were 2 of the worst teams in terms of expected goal performance, with a figure of 1.33 for Wales and 1.53 for Turkey. That suggests that Sommer could have a good chance of getting a clean sheet in both of those games. Yes, he plays Italy as well. That might be where your chip strategy will inform your transfer strategy, because you might not want him for match number 2 against Italy, for example. Switzerland themselves during qualifying performed really well in terms of expected goals against, with a figure of 0.78, which is pretty decent. I think it's like top 7 out of the 23 teams, 24 teams that are in the tournament. And at 5 million, he comes in cheaper than the other 2 standout picks for me, which would be Donnarumma and Killison. Interestingly, Tim Krul I've got in my team because the research that I did suggested that he'd be first choice for the Netherlands, but I've had a few comments saying that Kylson is first choice, but he's just been injured for the past couple of games. So Kylson 5.5 million, Tim Krul 4.5 million. If Krul was first choice, he would be in this list instead of Sommer. Player number 2 on our essential list is Owen Wijndal. At 4.5 million, he is an absolute steal. He's an attacking fullback for the Netherlands, and the Netherlands have a really good group in terms of potentially getting a clean sheet. Ukraine, Austria, and Macedonia. This guy could pick you up attacking returns, defensive returns, and he's cheap. North Macedonia are the worst team in terms of expected goals during the European qualifying stages in the tournament, and Ukraine aren't far off him as well. North Macedonia 1.27 expected goals per game, and Ukraine 1.49. Next up, I've gone for Ferran Torres. He seems to be a popular pick, and he was one of the first names on my team sheet, just because I remember during the season him scoring a hat-trick for Spain on international duty. He might have had 1 or 2, so I went and looked at Spain's recent fixtures just to get an idea of what their starting lineup is. And Torres seems to be playing up front, kind of like inside forward, winger, whatever you want to call it, in most of the games. You can see he scored here against Kosovo on the 31st of March. Started again here against Georgia on the 28th of March. Spain drew 1-1 with Greece then on the 25th of March. And again, Torres started that game. And here in the Nations League, where Spain beat Germany 6-0, Ferran Torres scored a hat-trick, scored on 33 minutes, 55 minutes, and 71 minutes. So those were the last 4 games that Spain have played, as far as I can see, and he started every one, and he scored 4 goals. 8 million midfielder, I think he's essential. I just want to say as well, essential is probably not a word I should be throwing around that much. I don't think any player is actually essential. It's just one of those cliche terms that's used in fantasy football a lot. But yeah, just to clarify, I don't actually think any player is literally essential. It's not a literal term. Up front then, Harry Kane cannot be ignored. The most goals in the Premier League this season, the most assists in the Premier League this season of all players across all teams, and that was for an underperforming Spurs team. We know he got the Golden Boot in the World Cup. I think I'm right in saying that. I'm pretty sure. Let me know in the comments if I got that horribly wrong, but I'm pretty sure he got the Golden Boot in the World Cup. And the fixture I'm eyeing up for Harry Kane is unfortunately that Scotland fixture. They're not very good, are they? Sorry, Scotland fans. Interesting to see Harry Kane is the 3rd top scorer in the qualifying rounds, where the Russian gentleman, who I cannot pronounce his name, but spelled Dzyuba, coming in front of him with 9 goals, and an Israeli player whose name looks difficult to pronounce as well, coming in with 11 goals, but of course Israel haven't qualified for the tournament. Raheem Sterling came just behind Harry Kane in terms of goals scored during Euro 2020 qualifying, but just behind him is the next player on our list, Cristiano Ronaldo. It's all about that first game versus Hungary for me, for Cristiano Ronaldo. I think he's going to be a little bit hungry for goals. Hungary only kept 2 clean sheets during qualifying. That's the joint worst out of any team in the competition. And of course, we all know Cristiano Ronaldo's pedigree and his history with this competition in particular, I don't think can be overlooked. Thank you very much for watching. That has been 5 essential players for Euro 2020. Don't forget to smash the like button, hit subscribe if you're new. We've got Euro 2020 content going out every day across my 3 channels. Make sure you check those out, hit subscribe and the notification bell if you don't want to miss one. See you next time.